Hey guys, it's your girl. It's the Spotlight News. Don't forget to click the like button. Did you know about P. Diddy or Puff Daddy? Do you know about this guy? Guys, it's still getting down for him. Though we are still making investigations why he is not yet sued, like he's not yet inside. There seems to be something behind this guy. It's like when they jail him, a lot of guys are going to be exposed, because we have been if you have been following these lawsuits on him, if you've been following all his trauma ahead, if you've been following Diddy's things and so on. First of all, the first lawsuit was from his girlfriend, cousin. She came out and said Diddy forced her to do a lot of stuff with many guys and lots of stuff with her male friends. And the way she came out and said she didn't like the way Diddy was treating her, and a lot. She was going through a lot of trauma. And if you've been following, Diddy came out and paid some money, some dollars to this girl. And that was not only the lawsuits. There are like eight to seven more suits. Imagine in these lawsuits, there is a lawsuit that really turned my heart down. That really made my heart go down. Imagine a young girl of 17. If you have been following this stuff of Diddy.
So I wanted to just touch on staying in the light. Staying in the light is so important. There's so many like negative forces and so many things that want to pull you to do something or make you respond, or just pull you just down into just that dirty, nasty frequency. Stay in the light.
Brother Love, I'm not sure the light is something you're gonna be seeing that often once all accusers are done with you. And girl, things just seem to be going from bad to worse for Diddy, because we are now talking about him losing millions. And I'm not talking about the millions he probably will have to pay his accusers. I'm talking businesses and his prized possession revoked. Also, word on the street.
So let's step down. Diddy wrote a letter saying he's stepping down of the revolt. That's where it all started, because Cassin came out and filed a case on Diddy, and the shit ran out. And Diddy wrote, Diddy comes steps at the Vote TV and the network. So in 1990s, again, another lady came out and filed a case over Diddy and some other lady and a friend. They say Diddy tried to force themselves on to force himself on them. So guys, I don't know why, if you don't know about this story, it's still going down and this is coming out. So the Revolt TV also wrote, after Diddy stepping down, they wrote, our focus has always been on one, reflect our commitment to collective journalists of revolt, one that is not driven by any individual but by the shared efforts and values of the entire team, and on behalf of advertising. Having previously, guys, if you have been following, imagine a 17-year-old girl was also involved in this. Imagine this stuff they were doing all this stuff mostly in their studio. Someone comes with their desperacy and then you end up turning against them. We have Young Miami. She was Diddy's girlfriend. Also, she came out and portrayed everything. Leave alone that there was, the guy is called Ronnie, Diddy's producer. He said, I have a lot of footage and so on. But what pains us a lot, guys, here we are fighting rights. We are fighting for ladies. We are fighting for men, because in all these lawsuits, it's not only ladies who have been turned down. It's not only men. It's both men and women. as all they are all suffering the trauma. They are all going through the trauma caused by Diddy. And what I believe, there are a lot of guys in the Hollywood doing bad shit, but it's covered by beyond the dark door. Just because for Diddy's case, it is now exposed to the public and we are still taking it down. But I believe there are so many guys in the Hollywood industry, that need to be exposed. Though this time around, Diddy is the face, but I don't think Diddy was doing this alone. I believe there are some more guys who would come and say something, but they are in worries. They are in fear. They are fearing what may go on. But guys, I think they
Street people know that Diddy been acting like this and doing this and trying to engage other men into sexual acts with him. There was story that he was trying to get Chris Brown. There's stories about, those those young boys that he had, a group B5 or something like that, trying to get them. 48 hours. Right now he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose. But
yeah, things came on waiting bad and so down. So this is when the time his bodyguard came out and to speak about all that situation which was going around between Diddy and other girls, plus cussing and other girls. So this was very worse for Diddy, and this is the moment when when the bodyguard comes out and speaks about everything, nobody can argue, because these are the guys. If you're moving with someone, that means someone has 90% of your information and 90% of what you do. And this is when a lot of evidence came around. Mostly, and he told the information came mostly for Jay-Z and so on, and the big star and the group aside. Let's proceed with this.
always the list. Please, God told me to ask y'all for help. I need your help. I need your help. I can't do it alone. I'm overwhelmed. I'm going crazy. And God, I beg you. I'm fighting this fight.
Here's why we're probably never going to hear J-Lo speak out on the Diddy allegations. First things first, they only dated a year and a half. Second of all, J-Lo met Diddy when she was 30 years old. Her career was already established, she was a rising star at the time, and they didn't live together. They were in a long-distance relationship. So there was no actual way for him to try and control her like he would with Cassie. Cassie met Diddy when she was 19 years old. If you ever see pictures of them when they first started dating, Cassie looks so young. She has such a baby face. And a woman at 30 years old versus 19 is a lot different. Diddy allegedly took advantage of the fact that Cassie was just 19 years old, she was young, she was naive, and thus easily manipulated. He made sure very early on to isolate Cassie and take control of her entire life. That's why J-Lo's probably never going to speak on the allegations, because her experience with Diddy was not the same version that Cassie. But by no means does that mean that J-Lo's relationship with Diddy was a walk in the park. She told Vibe magazine back in 2003 that she was constantly crying and going nuts when she was dating Diddy. She said that he would go missing, prompting Lopez to go knocking on hotel doors because she was always thinking that he was cheating. And in an interview with Wendy Williams, when Wendy asked her, would you ever get that good thing back, she said no. And J-Lo's mother's reaction to the question in the audience said it all.
Getting back with Puffy in a little way.
I remember you said
yes.
Yes.
Or in my mind.
Look it.
Or in my mind.
Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Can I need to know? You here, get your number.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Puff was the first one that came through and made us feel like, it was us.
Who is Sean approved from the world of entertainment?
There's only one person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
So you go into survival mode. And when you go into survival mode, what happened? Shut down.
Right.
You shut down all emotions.
Right.
So even with women,
You image yourself after painter. Big homie want to look like painter.
He says things, he doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity.
Bad Boy founder Diddy Combs strikes as a slightly edgy person, and now Jay-Z's latest sentiments may be the proof we all needed to hear. And it all started with their fellow rapper 50 Cent exposing the whole truth. I mean, nothing but the truth. The secret about Jay-Z's has been revealed at long last. In an interview with Big Boy's Neighborhood, 50 Cent broke the shocking news. 50 asserted in the now famous interview that Basquiat's aesthetic and demeanor led Jay-Z to adopt some of the artist's characteristic features and mannerisms, suggesting that the artist's influence on Jay-Z goes far deeper than most people realize. The graffiti-inspired paintings that made Basquiat famous in the 1980s were about much more than just art. They were political statements about race, class, and individuality.
You image yourself after painter. Big homie want to look like painter.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about Basquiat. He wants to look like a painter.
50 Cent's claims that Jay-Z wants to copy Basquiat are not as far-fetched as they may seem, even though they were inspired by his anger at being left out of last year's Super Bowl halftime show. Jay-Z has been on record more than once expressing a desire to emulate Basquiat in every way possible, including the artist's signature hairstyle. On his 2013 album Magna Carta Holy Grail, Jay-Z had a track titled Picasso Baby, which featured overt parallels to the late neo-expressionist painter. Jay in particular stated in his lyrics, "I'm the new Jean-Michel." This is only one of numerous references to Basquiat throughout the song. Other members of Jay-Z's crew also pay homage to the artist on different tunes. For example, Frank Ocean's lyrics are spot on. "I hope my black skin don't dirt this white tuxedo slash before the Basquiat show," he sings. Does Jay-Z go too far in channeling the late musician? Is it true that, like Gene, Jay is outing himself as bisexual? And how is Diddy connected to all these? 50 Cent seems to have just answered all of our questions by stating that Jay was leaning in that direction. On the other side, comedian Corey Holcomb has made it crystal clear that the 53-year-old rapper is gay.
Guys, I think some are like, we may come out and talk about this, we may come out and talk about what we really went through, then we end up being sued, or we end up losing our families, because in this lawsuits, if you're to, it's a big one, because there is even one who came out and said, and at the end of the day, they even jailed his son. I won't mention that name. They even imprisoned his son. Then at the end of the day, he had to come back to the public, and he says, "Guys, it's not true. Guys, I was in fear, what, and so on." But guys, which society are we going to live in when people are getting frustrated at the same time? You're not living with that bias on your heart. You live with a bias, but you don't need to come and to speak it in public because you fear. Because someone believes he has money, he can rule the world, he can do whatever he wants, he can walk the way he wants. Because if you're to listen to according to those suits which have been coming and so on, evidence, what and everything, this guy is still out and is still moving freely without anything. He still stands to defend himself. He still stands to do whatever he wants. Guys, what's really going on? You can add a commentary and we talk about this situation, because it broke my heart. Someone living with all that frustration, with all that hate, with all that betrayal, with all that feeling like you feel down, but there is nothing you have to do because someone is big enough. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel, The Spotlight News.